Welcome to the BoshNRoll channel. If you want to support my daily Eternal Magic offerings while getting amazing perks like the Discord community, have me play your deck on the channel, or my list and sideboard guides before tournaments, check out Patreon or the YouTube membership program. This channel is made possible by these amazing sponsors. Check out all their links in the video description below. Once again, thanks for being here. Let's go play some Magic. Welcome back to the BoshNRoll channel. Today, I'm playing Legacy, and this is from Patreon subscriber Rob Job. And I've got some red painter for you. Once again, we don't have the Warhammer cards on Magic Online yet. Chaos Defiler is in every single paper list that's posted, but doesn't exist yet on MTGO. That affects how the whole deck is built because there is access to black mana, there's like some sideboard options that open up. Kind of whack that it's now May. I thought we were getting these cards in March, but come on, Magic Online. But I'm going to do what I can with what I got here. If you're following the channel regularly, you'll know that I played Red Painter last month, and I had a rough time. Not the deck's fault. I know the deck is great, and there was some stuff that I noticed after the plays were made, and then some stuff in the comments that helped shed some light on certain play patterns, and I'm hoping to do better here, because this deck does rule. I do have a history with Red Painter. I played it at Eternal Weekend 1 year. Like, I'm very into this deck. The current builds are a lot grindier than they used to be. Having 8 Goblin Welders with Goblin Engineer helping out. We have a really cool tutor package with Phyrexian Dragon Engine and Freya's Apprentice. Urza Saga is in this metagame. Incredible card for this archetype. And Fable the Mirror Breaker, which is probably my favorite non-blue card printed in the last, 5 years. I have so much joy every time I cast this card in any format. I don't even care if people don't like it. This card is awesome. And I'm excited to play with it today. If you're not familiar with the core strategy here, Painter's Servant, you name a color when it comes into play. All cards are that color in addition to their other colors, no matter where they are. Grindstone, target player mills 2. If those cards share a color, repeat this process. Painter plus Grindstone mills your opponent's entire deck. And that's the core of the thing here. Working above this combo, or behind this combo, or in tandem with this combo, kind of zigging while the combo zags, is Urza Saga Beatdown. Goblin Welder plus Goblin Engineer value engines. Phyrexian Dragon Engine value engines. Fable the Mirror Breaker, threatening to take over the game on its own. And eventually we'll hardcast these Furies and win the game. We can win fair, we can win unfair. It's backed by 6 main deck Red Elemental Blast effects, which is great when your opponent is already a blue deck, and less great when they're not a blue deck. You have to use Painter to paint things blue, and then it becomes good. The leagues tend to be less blue than 7-round Swiss challenges are, and this is a list from a challenge, so we'll see how this shakes out. I saw some league lists playing a little more Lightning Bolt, a little less Red Blast in the main, but I'm gonna go with this one because if you're out playing Legacy at your locals or going to some regional event like a Star City or Energy or something, it's gonna look more like a challenge metagame than it is like a league metagame. And I'm going to play the real deck that I would play in that situation. This is Red Painter. Let's get into it. I'm on the draw in round 1, and this hand can turn 2 and turn 3 Fable the Mirror Breaker. Don't know if that's good enough. Depends entirely on the matchup. There are matchups where we die instantly for keeping this hand, and there are matchups where this is one of the better hands we could have. I think I want to keep it. I think turn 2ing a Fable with Daze Protection in the form of Spirit Guide, I think it's worth the spice. And if they're any kind of slow deck at all, we're just doing great. Just gonna Mountain Pass. Snow-covered Forest. This is some Ice Fang Coatl strategy, which is exactly the type of deck we want to keep this hand against. Great Furnace. I'm still an artifact short of turning on Mox Opal. I could use Simian Spirit Guide to get the first Fable out, but I don't think I want to do it that way. Like, I'm either down the card City of Traders long term, or and I get to use it twice in the meantime, or I'm down this Immune Spirit Guide forever. I don't have a shortage of lands or mana sources right now. There's a Plow. We're ready for that. Okay, what's next? Do we have a Teferi to stop the next thing? What's going on? Just leaving up mana. Red Blast. I'm very happy to see that card. I am going to discard some cards. I think and I've said quite a bit about the Spirit Guide, but I think it should go. And I don't know that I really need Mox Opal for speed here. I'm going to float and play another Mountain and play another Fable with Red Blast available. And I'm going to leave up Red Blast rather than play Soul Guide Lantern. We don't see the Uro yet. Suspect it's in the deck somewhere. I just don't want to get like Hull Breacher, Days Undoing out of nowhere. Or resolve Jace the Mind Sculptor or some BS. Slowgurk the Overslime. Mad respect, but I am going to counter it. I'm now very excited about this matchup. I went from like, okay, we're just doing normal stuff to my homie Slowgurk. Okay, we've seen graveyard cards in the form of Slowgurk. I think I can at least discard Ancient Tomb, even if I don't dip the Great Furnace with it. Or maybe I dip the Great Furnace, then I can leave up Red Blast while doing other stuff. But I'm likely to get a treasure here as well. I could just dump both lands and try to get the gas coming. I think I'm just going to discard Great Furnace and keep hold of my mana sources. But getting super greedy on this, obviously I hit a land, so it looks kind of bad. But I would not have enjoyed getting too greedy on that, missing lands and then dying because I can't cast my spells. I think I'm more worried about Plow than I am about Slowgurk in the graveyard. Main phase, Icefang, Quaddle. This is not where I'm going to put my Red Blast. And my Reflection has woken up. Now I can play Ancient Tomb and I send in the Goblin Shaman for sure. I'll take this trade. This thing has generated a lot of value already. I'm not going to play out Apprentice because between Saga and active Reflection, I have a lot going on right now. That's pretty good. Another Quaddle. Still not going to spend a Red Blast on this. Slowgurk. Is it time? That is a pretty big creature. Alright, I'll counter target blue spell. See if they walked me in and they have something better here. Okay, we can Splinter Twin here. Reflection, copy Reflection. And I can make more Reflections, but I think I'd rather make an extra construct, or a construct. This one's not extra. And I can spend treasures to make more Reflections, but the treasures are pumping the construct. I got my freebie. I'll keep that one. Another Pyroblast. Let's keep those hits coming. Tutor. The only targets in this list that are left, because I have all my lanterns, are Grindstone and Petal. I'll take the Grindstone. And I can copy Construct before combat. Pretty into that. I'm going to copy the one without Summoning Sickness. Or with Summoning Sickness, so if they kill it, I can still attack with the other one. Heck yeah. The thing about Reflection of Kiki-Jiki is if you untap with it, especially more than once, your opponent has told you they don't have removal spells, and you can pretty safely shove in. I didn't see a whole lot of their deck. I saw some Icefang Quaddles and a Slowgurk. I saw enough basic lands to support Quaddle, so I don't want my Maguses. Fiery Confluence is pretty good at sweeping up a board full of Quaddles, but I don't know if I want a 4-mana effect for that. Grafdigger's Cage is not free for me to bring in against like Uro and stuff because I am a welder deck with creatures to weld. I don't know that I'm actually going to sideboard anything for this matchup. Basically pre-built. Lightning Bolt even seems reasonable if they have Slowgurks and Quaddles and Planeswalkers. Yeah, I'm genuinely changing nothing. In we go. That's the strength of Painter. When you do actually queue into a blue matchup and you have 6 Red Blasts in your main deck, not a lot to change. Okay, we have a turn 2 Fable again. This one is backed by Red Blast. I'm going to keep Static Vista. I have some options here, which are play Great Furnace and do Fable stuff. Great Furnace is susceptible to any sort of artifact hate they brought in, but I guess that comes with the territory. I could turn 1 this Fable, but it would cost me Petal and Spirit Guide. I think I'm just going to be patient. We've got Coatl mana available. Built the city on Fable of the Mirror Breaker. We're in there. Let the value train commence. Got the forest in the end step. Here's the Coatl. What a surprise. Oh my god. Collector Oof is a douchebag. I have Lightning Bolts and Furies in my deck. This is the concern that I had when I had to lead on Great Furnace. I can do a trick here, though, that may or may not actually help at all. Alright, well, I'm going to start by Fabling. I'm going to discard all of these artifact sources of mana. Lotus Petal and Great Furnace gotta go. And we did not find a removal spell. I'm going to attack, offer the trade with the Coatl. And I can blast the Coatl if they block and then fetch for a white source. Not that that's particularly helpful because these treasures don't matter. I don't get a whole lot more spells this game. I could play Goblin Engineer. I don't know that that helps. I could play my Urza Saga. I don't know that that helps. I will just let this resolve. And float to a city, play Urza Saga. Yes, I know it dies. This gives me the live out of drawing a removal spell for Oof or Ancient Tomb or another city to get the Saga cranking, which is how you win games from this position. I would blast the crap out of this Slowgurk, except that my last red source, I'm gonna need it if I draw Lightning Bolt. Alright, come on, deck. Painter's Servant. Not helpful here. I mean, I can cast it, but I don't know that that does anything. I guess I have to, though. Okay, Painter, and I am going to name blue. Everything's blue. Now Red Blast is an answer to Oof, at least temporarily. Cloud the Reflection, not the Painter. Does that mean they have 2 removal spells then? Or are they more worried about that? Life from the Loam. They have Misty and Vista in their hand with 3 mystery cards. Or Strand and Vista, not Misty. This makes Slowgurk larger. Okay, they didn't remove Painter pre-combat, and that cost them 2 damage on the attack. That's good. If I find a red source, I feel like I'm moving here. Which I did not. And I might as well get Grindstone. Or does the next... I could get Soul Guide Lantern, hit the Loam, and slow down their engine. I think I'd rather just put Grindstone into play for the Nut Spike potential here. Because I'm not doing a lot right now as far as the fair plan. I want to point out that this list plays 2 Great Furnace and 8 Mountains, and I have the 2 Great Furnace and I have 0 Mountains. Just putting that out there for the universe, if anyone's interested in hearing it. Okay, Wasteland and Loam are active now. I'm not even going to float mana, it doesn't matter. I'm F6'd. Take me straight to hell, opponent. I'm ready. Okay, I'm good here. Alright, Collector Oof. Shut down the... I happen to draw the 2 artifact lands out of my 21 lands in my deck. Good stuff. Abrade and Unholy Heat kill Collector Oof. Those are options that were not in my deck previously. And that card did just solo me, so I think I'm gonna go for it. Recruiter of the Guard can chill. And I do like having 2 Soul Guide Lanterns, so I can spew off 1 and still have a second for later if they have multiple graveyard engines, which I believe they do. I could cut a Lotus Petal out of respect for Oof. That is also how I get ahead and put this blue deck on the back foot quickly. I'm kind of looking at Fury, which is also an answer to Oof, but it's the more expensive one, and I just boarded into better deals for that. So I'll do it like that. Okay, this hand is not a keep. Well, again, the 1 lander that doesn't make any colors. This one I'm into. I cannot accelerate the Saga currently. I do have a basic land to play on. I think I keep and send Grindstone. I can tutor that up when I'm ready for it. Yeah, I'm gonna bottom Grindstone and then just play Mountain Go. Bottoming Grindstone gives away the ability to just draw Painter and curve 1, 2, 3, you're dead. But I don't think that's gonna work against this Swords to Plowshares deck anyway. Sucks that they're a Wasteland deck too. That's just cheating. Okay. Now I care a little less. Urza Saga is still a juicy Wasteland target. I could Spirit Guide out a Brea's Apprentice. That way if they Wasteland me, they have to spend a turn doing something different. I'm actually really into that. If they spend a turn wasting, I want them taking damage on board while it happens. If they have Hydroblast here, they get a tasty little 2-for-1, but that's like the one thing that I care about. We're in there. White. Okay, they can plow Brea's Apprentice, but that leaves me Saga active for a turn. That was the plan. Pyroblast, cool. Send my 1 damage in here. That Waterlogged Grove does not give Coatl Death Touch. If they have Dress Down, they're going to get a good deal here. Let's see if they Dress Down. I could have held up Pyroblast, but if I get priority again, I don't care about that anymore. Now I can decide, am I going to Soul Guide Lantern? Am I going to take Grindstone for the upside of whenever I draw Painter? I think I want Soul Guide. And I'll just knock this Plow out of their graveyard. Play a Mountain. They have not Dressed Down yet. And now I have Blast Up. Coatl does trade with 1/1 Copter, but you take a damage for casting it. I'm saving this Pyroblast for things like Busted Planeswalkers and Dress Downs, because I have quite the army assembled at this point. Played an island. Their only green source still hurts them, but the next Coatl does touch. I'm not going to pop Soul Guide to draw a card. That makes my construct smaller and taps me out of Pyroblast. Do I want to Soakins on right now and just swing for the fences? I think I do. The City of Traders lets me do it. These are not artifacts, but they are attackers. Deck with all my creatures. Otawara. Okay, can't interact with that one, but glad I pushed the extra damage. That wasn't a great turn for them. Okay, they're taking damage to cast a spell now. I can counter this. If they force, like, Plow is, Fate is their last color available. They could have abraded it on my turn, but if they play a land and fetch, it doesn't work anymore. Really wanted to draw, like, some artifact in that spot. Said I did not. But I do have them on a 2-turn clock with a removal spell in my hand and a redraw if they start to stabilize. Here we go. This Waterlogged Grove has been an absolute beating on them too. They're passing the turn. Could be Coatl, could be some other Flash Threat, could be Plow, another Otawara, could be a lot of things here. Unholy Heat. I was about to say Lightning Bolt is my most exciting draw, and we have our 2-spot removal spells in hand that are not Lightning Bolt. They can zap a Coatl before blocks, though. I'm actually going to zap it before they even draw the card. That's gone. They do get a redraw. Swords to Plowshares puts them to 1. We got the GGs in the chat, though. Yeah, they really just never got off the ground. We never saw an Uro. Slogurk never recurred a card. And they just sort of died. Good stuff. Let's go. Next round. I've already won as many matches as I did in my last Painter League. You come here to level up at Magic. To level up as a software engineer, check out the new YouTube series Dev Better, hosted by the founder of 7-Factor Software and Magic player, Jeremy Duvall. 7-Factor's small teams of high-performing engineers build custom mobile apps, APIs, and highly scalable systems for Fortune 500 companies and ambitious startups with great ideas. If you'd like to hire 7-Factor, or maybe join their team, contact them through their website at 7factor.io. And don't forget to subscribe to 7-Factor's YouTube for every episode of Dev Better. I'm on the play in round 2. Brea's Apprentice is not Fable of the Mirror Breaker as far as things I'm excited to jam for 3 mana, but I am going to keep this hand. And hope my opponent's a blue deck, because I got Red Blast to spare. Mountain Go. The classic legacy start. Burden Catacombs. Bad news, team. Please cast Ponder. Underground Sea Ponder. Uh-oh. Zenith for 0. Okay. The good news is I can shove Breya's Apprentice here because I don't expect it to be interacted with. Oh, JK. We did better. Always had it. All right, much more excited about Fable than I am about Breya's Apprentice. My opponent could be elves, or they could be some Maverick variation. Fetching Bayou if you're elves here seems reckless. Mountain Go could be Red Stompy, as well as it could be Painter, so I suspect this is not elves, and this is some sort of deck that actually needs 3 or more colors to play the game. Alright, well, that's what I know about Magic, apparently. Yep, 100% elves. Opponent just not interested in respecting Blood Moon at all, so that's fine. I don't have those in my main deck. You're going to get away with it. Double Shep and Symbiote. Okay. This is setting up a pretty resilient turn 3. If I can find a Painter, I can kill 2 of their permanents. So if I don't find a Painter, these blasts are dead. I'm going to see what my draw step is and then start making decisions. I'm definitely looting as much as I can out of this hand. I don't need the City of Traders, and it's probably just one of the Red Blasts. Though I have 2 draws here to hit Painter, at which point Red Blast becomes one of the best things I can do. My deck does have Lightning Bolts in it, though. Okay, I'll send a Red Blast. Didn't draw Painter. Made the right call. I'm gonna attack, get my treasure. I'll start there. They could just take 2, or they could block bounce. Just take 2 is perfectly reasonable. Then I want to get Saga going. Might as well play my Soul Guide Lantern. I suspect I'm just going to die to a natural order this turn, but I'm going to put as much material as I can on the board before that happens. And there goes my turn. This deck could also have main deck Collector Oof, which messes up some of the stuff that I'd want to do. Alright, we're just getting glimpsed. I mean, glimpsing from 2 cards in hand could be worse. Good chance we're in trouble, though. Heritage Druid is an excellent start if you're going to glimpse from 2 cards in hand. And they have Symbiote, which is an onboard redraw. Metal Sentinel. Okay, we are full dedicated glimpse combo build of elves here. Don't expect a Fiend Artisan or anything slow. Metal Sentinel, Heritage Druid are an excellent 2 cards to cast out of your 2-card hand after you start a glimpse. Symbiote just picked up an elf. That might be a good sign that they're using their Symbiote this early. Normally you want to save that towards deeper down the chain. There are higher value things to pick up than an Allosaurus Shepherd. And that Shepherd didn't have Summoning Sickness. I probably would have picked up Heritage Druid there and untap the Shepherd rather than pick up Shepherd. And they untapped Metal Sentinel, which was going to untap when they cast... Oh no, they untapped Dried Arbor. Okay, never mind. I'm caught up now. Still dead to a hoof, doesn't matter, but okay. Shepherd number 3. Bradle, 2 cards left. Zenith, Natural Order, or Natural Hoof. Any of those things. Get it done here. All I can do is cross my fingers and hope we survive this long. Just give me another untap step. Ooh, we're passing with mana in the pool. Burning it off. That's good news. Neither of the creatures that are capable of attacking are elves, so I don't even need to respect mid-combat Shepherd activation. I am going to sack Lantern to draw a card. I guess if I was doing that off a treasure, that mana's gone anyway, so it doesn't matter that much. I could have done it on my turn. Drawing Fury, though, is a treat. That makes my Red Bless better. I could also just cast Fury, but I don't think I want to do that when that would cost me Saga activation. Yeah, I'm going to play Ancient Tomb, and I'm going to Fury, pitching a Red Blast. Sucks that my Reflection is sleeping. That would be the Stone Nuts. They can pump all their elves +5/+5 in response, or make them 5/5, so I can kill Symbiote and Arbor here. Honestly, I probably would have forgot about that if they didn't float mana, and I would have just targeted their like Heritage Druid and 3 Shepherds. So they kind of blew it by tipping me off that that's a thing they can do. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'll still make them tap the Cradle. put 1 damage on the other things. They've shepherded those things up. Means I don't have an attack with Goblin Shaman. But if I had attacked with Goblin Shaman first, then used... No, I still don't have 5 mana. Or I still don't have 8 mana to Fury and activate. Yeah, that doesn't get there. Guess I'm just passing the turn from here. They didn't finish it last turn with 2 cards in their hand and Glimpse active, so I just gotta navigate Shepherd activation. It's not trivial. This is actually a tough turn to navigate. But I do get to tutor for a Grindstone this turn. Wrist. Does this matter? I don't think so. I'm pretty happy if any one of these elves leave play. So if they're gonna like kill a Reflection of Kiki-Jiki, I don't care. If they're just making an insect, and they're gonna have to make an insect now if they want to activate their Shepherd, because Cradle's only good for 5. This looks like a Zenith is resolving though. Oh, it's natural order. Shit. Okay. Yep. Good card. Respectable. If I YOLO flip a lightning bolt right now off of Rhea's Apprentice, does that even stabilize? We've got 5, or there'd be 4 creatures, so 16, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, and I would have 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, there is not enough here. Okay. They did it. They found the natural order, which they clearly didn't have last turn, but now they did. A Braid, Unholy Heat coming in. Snaring Bridge is interesting. Probably do want that. Fiery Confluence, easy game. And the Grafdigger's Cage hurts them more than it hurts me. And then Magus of the Moon. They did absolutely disrespect the possibility of Blood Moon that game. I think I'm just cutting all my blasts. I can't count on having a Painter. Needle might be better than Magus, though I do kind of like Magus, especially if I have an Imperial Recruiter to find it. So I could also cut the Imperial Recruiter and just more Magus. Do I want Needle? It can name Shepherd, it can name Symbiote. Soul Guide Lantern, not important to this matchup. That's space that I can open up. It gives me all my Magi and Pithing Needle, and then I've cut the Pyroblast and Soul Guide Lanterns that don't have any face-up text. I have all my answers to Collector Roof in, all my removal spells. This looks like it makes sense to me. On the play with Goblin Welder and turn to Fable. I'll keep this. There is no removal in this hand, but I'm also a combo deck, and I'm going to act like it. Once Upon a Time, a Basic Forest, which is their land for the turn. And we have Zenith. Alright, pretty good start. Dragon Engine is cool, Fable is cooler. I'm going to attack first, actually. If I had Lightning Bolt, I would cast it, and offering this Goblin Welder as a trade. Which I don't think they will trade, because their random objects are more important than my random objects. Okay, here we go. Don't turn to me. Give me a turn to do something here. Well, they made their land drop. If they were trying to go off this turn, they wouldn't do that, because they'd wait until they could find Cradle. Virtualer plus Shepherd is legit, though. I don't care if I get Thoughtseize. Snuff Out's not great here, and they can't Snuff Out till they fetch a Swamp anyway. They can't Zenith for 2 from this position. They could just Raw Dog an Oof from hand. Just gonna hope they don't do that, though. I do get a lot of looks at Fury next turn. I have my draw step, plus my Fable Rummage, plus Dragon Engine if I want to go that deep. See 6 cards next turn. Sure. Deleting a land drop to untap Dryad Arbor. They are here for a good time, not a long time. If they finish this turn off with Oof from hand, that would be really good. Heritage Druid from hand, okay. If they have an elf, their hand is Basic Forest 2 unknowns. If one of the unknowns is an elf, they can make some more mana here. Elvish Vish, okay. Their hand is still 2 unknowns. They have quite the impressive board for next turn. Alright, deck. How about a Fury or a Fiery Confluence? Fable. I'm gonna discard Saga and Engine and draw Fiery Confluence like a boss. Okay. Time to sequence this turn. I'm gonna attack with Goblin Shaman. That gets me my treasure. And then play Lotus Petal because I'm about to discard my hand. Play Urza Saga. Play Grindstone. And then holding priority 1, 2, 3, 4. Fiery Confluence. I'm gonna deal 1 damage each creature and 4 damage to each opponent. And in response, I'm gonna flip Grindstone into Dragon Engine. Then my 2/2/2s will survive, all their 1/1s will die. And we're rocking out. And I got a fresh hand of 3 cards. They could pitch cast an Endurance to stop the Dragon Engine. Don't know what else they could want to do here. They can pick up their Dryad Arbor. That one was free. Still don't have Dryad Arbor anymore, though. Down for that. Would like to use this ability. Thank you. And I found Fury. Sick. 1 to all creatures. Get them out. Cool. And feeling good. I'll pass the turn. There's the Forest. We know Dryad Arbor is one of their cards in hand. Forest go. My various sagas tick up. And this turn's going to start by just going to combat. Attack for 6, make a treasure. And I can play Goblin Engineer, or I can just them dead. Saga. Engineer would cost me a treasure, which is not a big deal. Alright. Goblin Engineer, let's go. I'm going to entomb a Painter's Servant. Just have the combo on backup here in case this aggro doesn't get it done. I guess the super safe play there is Ensnaring Bridge. That way I can't get hoofed out of nowhere this turn. I can attack under that anyway. I mean, their hand would have to be nuts. If I give up my Saga activation to play Ensnaring Bridge, that is a big commitment to being way more careful than I think I need to be. Shepherd, Ranger. We know Dryad Arbor is one of the last 2 cards in hand. I don't think I'm dying this turn. And I can make Fury plus copy it next turn. Yeah, we're done. Or I could grind them out. Might be able to do both. Didn't need all of it though. I think this is still the best deck that I have. I have all my sweepers in and my fast lines to combo. We keep opening hands with Fury and Fiery Confluence in this matchup. I'm okay making that broad statement. Verdant Catacombs and a fetch from the opponent. Thoughtseize taking a look isn't that bad because that's a turn that they're not developing their board. And I have 2 sweepers. Virtual Ranger, okay. Virtual Ranger is one of the ones that can convert an insane turn 2. I'm not going to spend a Fury on 1 card though. I'm just going to play Goblin Welder and pass the turn. I'm going to sandbag the Lotus Petal. I might be able to surprise them with a Fiery Confluence next turn. Or if I draw any other red card, going Fable and then pitch Fury to Wrath You would be pretty great. Just gotta hope I don't get turn 2'd here. That's not a Nettle Sentinel, so I'm feeling good about that. So they have carefully insulated their board from sweepers. If they fetch a Dryad Arbor in the end step, they could just natural order me out of nowhere. I could Fury just to clear their board, buy myself a turn. Like if I Fury pitching Breya's Apprentice, it's super aggressive and only kills 1 card. But I'm guaranteed not to die next turn. They do untap with just probably Dryad Arbor in play, and I have Fiery Confluence to follow up. I actually am going to do this. And I think Fable is better than Apprentice. Just want to be hyper careful against the potential of their combo where I am setting up a control hand and they're not. So pick up the Birchlore, lose the Symbiote. Fury dies. Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Get in there. I'll attack with Goblin Welder. I'm happy to trade it for Dryad Arbor. I think it'll just poke for 1. There's no artifacts in my graveyard, and there's not going to be any artifacts in my graveyard. No artifacts in play either. This is just a 1/1 right now. Might as well use it. Not playing out Lotus Petal here means they don't have to even think about Lightning Bolt. which is a card in my deck. But since I don't have Lightning Bolt, I don't want them thinking about it. And if they can dumpster a combo, they're going to do it. It's not like there's some cat and mouse game around a Lightning Bolt to be played here. And the Lotus Petal is potential material to rummage away with Fable next turn. Better in my hand. Did, in fact, fetch the Dryad Arbor. Here's a Forest from their hand. Visionary. What I would love to do is draw a messed up artifact in my draw step, like Dragon Engine or Painter, to get full loot value. Okay, I mean, that one counts. Use the ability, discard Grindstone and Lotus Petal. I have Painter, okay. Pieces are all together. Play Great Furnace. Back with my Goblin. I can go for the win right now. Painter. I'm going to paint everything black so they can't snuff out. Flip Great Furnace into Grindstone. They would need Endurance here. 1, 2. Activate Grindstone, target you. If they have a Progenitus in their deck, they get to draw another card. They could also Endurance themselves to have another turn. Or they could just die. I'm cool with all those outcomes. Okay, their deck is in their graveyard. They don't appear to have a Progenitus. They must be planning to Endurance themselves. Or they're just goofing around. And goofing around was the answer. Tight little Painter combo. Super aggressive Fury to kill one creature, but I think it was right. Just make sure that you don't die that turn, because you're also a combo deck. You're also a deck with the Fire Confluence follow-up. Feel good about that one. And we continue our undefeated streak. Let's roll. For the absolute best Magic the Gathering apparel on the market, check out the link in the video description to coalesceapparel.shop, and be sure to use the code BoshNRoll for 10% off when you check out. I'm on the play for round 3, and I have a turn 1 Engineer, turn 2 Fable, or turn 2 Fable with Pyroblast backup. I don't know how aggressive I'm supposed to be when I don't know the matchup. I'm definitely keeping this hand. I think I'm just going to Mountain Pass, and then Fable with protection on the following turn, and then I can spam Engineers on turn 3. Opponent's on a mull to 6. Mountain go. It's the mirror, or are we dying to Reanimator? What's going on here? Burden Catacombs is not the mirror. Oh yeah. Yep. Dying to Reanimator. Got it. Cool. Field. Turn 2, Fable the Mirror Breaker. Not even close to competitive. But that is the life, isn't it? No draws with Grizzlebrand. They are respecting the possibility that I go like end step Lightning Bolt, untap Lightning Bolt, and then they just die. Ugh. What's even my out to this? I have to combo them. Okay, so I could play 2 Engineers this turn, or Engineer and Welder. I could also play Fable, try to make something happen next turn. But Engineer can tutor for Grindstone and Painter. I would not have an artifact to start the chain if I do it like that. I think I'm going to Fable and play Lotus Petal, now that I know they're a discard deck. I don't mind giving away this information for game 2, even though I'm unlikely to win this game 1. So I could drop Welder and invest in the future. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. As Goblin Shaman makes an artifact as well, Engineer could help Entomb 1. Thought seizing me. Yep, have a look. My hand sucks. Enjoy that. Just counting on Painter Grindstone being in my top 3 cards here. They are going in on drawing cards with Grizzlebrand this time. They have exactly enough life to reanimate an Archon if they come up with one. Faithless Looting. It's pretty good. My Ensnaring Bridge is in the sideboard. It's not something we can find here. Zoom and Grief in the graveyard. Those are not reanimate monsters. You can reanimate a Grief, but you know what I mean. It's not what you want. This is going to take Engineer. So my Entombs are off. I'm going to have to natural this. Happy to loot away a Pyroblast, though. Oh, and I found another Engineer. Let's go. I'm going to discard the Pyroblast. Keep the Engineer. Lightning Bolt. What do you do? There's not an artifact in here that does what I need it to as far as removing a Grizzlebrand or taking out of combat. I mean, Brea's Apprentice could buy me a turn. Can't afford the Lightning Bolt. I need all my red. Just have to attack with Goblin Shaman. If they don't block, they lose, which is pretty funny. If they block, they don't have lethal anymore. Okay. Is there a way to deal 2 damage to my opponent? There's not. There's not a twin shot sniper in this build. That's alright. Okay, I think I have to get Brea's Apprentice this turn. That blocks Grizzlebrand for a turn and sets up Engine going long. I'll pass. And if they Thoughtseize me pre-combat, they'd just die. Yep, they know about Lightning Bolt. They're making a smart attack here. I'm gonna flip Treasure into Brea's Apprentice and block with the Thopter. Don't really want to go to 2 if I can avoid it, because Ancient Tomb is most of my mana right now. If they Exhume, I get to Goblin Engineer. Okay, they're going to 5 again, taking another rip on Grizzlebrand, which I do have them dead with the cards that I have if they don't find another round here, but they're fully halfway through their deck. It would be crazy if they didn't find another round here. Unmask yourself. Archon of Cruelty and Atraxa. It is Exhume, though. Oh no, there's an animate there. Okay, no, we're in trouble. Dark Ritual, they can actually animate and Exhume. Animate dead puts me to 6. Lose the Bolt. I sack the Brea's Apprentice, which is great because it's better in the graveyard than it is in play right now. Then they can Faithless Looting and also bring back Atraxa. But if they Exhume, I get a Goblin, which is a huge risk for them that they should not take, I don't think. This board is beating me. Why do anything? Okay, pitch casting Grief against me, who is Hellbent. Got it. That card's in your graveyard now. Exhume is in exile. Yeah, they're just loud and clear saying, look, I'm not casting Exhume. Okay, we're in a tough spot. And Simian Spirit Guide, I have no artifacts with which to even start doing goblin stuff, so that was surprisingly scrappy, and my opponent did have opportunities to mess up. Pretty cool. Snaring Bridge, all my graveyard hate, and probably cutting the blasts here. The Painter Blast does kill Grizzlebrand. Is some number of blasts for the Painter upside worth it over Lightning Bolt? The Lightning Bolt did give me a puncher's chance in that game. If they messed up on that one block, Bolt would have killed them. I think I like the blasts over the bolts. Though maybe Fury is worse than Bolt. Because Fury kills none of their creatures, and... oh right, Grafdigger's Cage should be in my deck. Fury kills none of their creatures, and all of mine, if they, like, Thoughtseize it and reanimate it. Yeah, I think I like this setup. I'm in. There's a lot of graveyard hate in this sideboard. I think we know what we're weak to. Well... do we keep the unbeatable no-lander? Probably. I'm going to keep, and I'm going to monkey out this Welder on turn 1, and then pass, and hope that at some point I draw an Ancient Tomb. Or just Goblin gets in for 20. This hand is insane, and my opponent should have the easy read that it's full of surgical extractions. Lotus Petal. Tomb. Okay, if they just kept a hyper fast hand that doesn't interact very well, my hand is the nuts against that. Surgical your Archons. And they should have read that like a book. Their hand is just Lotus Petal, Grizzlebrand, and some lands. Take a look at this deck. We got Sarah's Emissary, 2 Grizzles, very Macabre of your own, 2 Atraxas, 2 Dothy Voidwalkers. Okay. Voidwalker is the card I don't want to see. At this point, I am prepared against everything else that they do. There's the Petal. My Welder can flip their Petal into a different Petal. Speaking of which, I'm going to play out Petal. That is an artifact. If I can somehow get another artifact in my graveyard, we're in business. Verdant Catacombs. Oh, yeah. Alright, well, don't draw a Dothy Voidwalker, and I will see you in 18 turns, opponent's life total. Here's the Badlands. They're cracking a fetch. Shit is this? Some 3-mana play. Oh, yep, Hardcast Grief. That'll do. That's pretty good. Please take a Painter. Give me a puncher's chance with this welder. Surgical. Well, that one wins the race for sure. If I don't get something else going. Which I did. Painter. I'm going to paint everything blue. Because I did leave in a couple of blasts for that reason. Now I have the very real decision to double block Grief. And, God, a second Grief. Well, I'm not going to double block Grief now. Their hand is Grizzlebrand. They've run a runnered Greaves. Disappointing. They do play 4 of that one. Reasonable, I guess. They took a Macabre. Now a double block. I don't like it, but it does seem kind of necessary. I lose 1 creature either way, so they can decide if they want to kill Welder or Painter here. Which I don't like giving them that choice. But I'm not going to beat the double Menace creature. And now any land puts another double block as an option. Oh, sick. Get wrecked, nerd. And we're back to stability. Love that double block. They know my hand is very Macabre. Hell yeah. Okay. Painter, paint everything blue again. And I think pressuring with my creature that can pressure is worth more than like holding up in case I want to flip Painter into Painter in response to a removal spell. Do they even have a removal spell? Let's look at this deck again. Nope, they literally don't. Okay. Oh, they do have Grief number 3, though. And might as well Macabre their graveyard. Hit 2 Griefs that are already there. Man, that's friggin' annoying. Their deck was so full of blanks, and they're just like, you know, best card 3 times in a row. Off we go. I'm not mad about this one. Unfortunately, I think I just have to pass. As much as I'd like to kill Grief and keep attacking, now that they know the coast is clear of Graveyard Hate, they could just try to shove a Grizzle this turn, and I need an answer to that. I'm just going to take 3 from this attack, and then see how they want to follow up. They want to follow up by doing nothing. Fable's Nutso on my next draw step, or my next mana source. I'm not winning this race, but I am going to commit to it for a little while. They might cast Grizzlebrand this game. Deck, how about City of Traders? That would be a great draw. Or I can keep drawing drops. It's cool too. In the second I get to 3 mana, I'm stable. But in the meantime, there are risks. I also can kill this Grief whenever I need to, when it starts threatened lethal. I just don't want to get friggin' Grizzlebrand in between. Doom. Traxa. Reanimate puts them to 4. Suddenly makes this race more tempting, but they do get to resolve an Atraxa in between. Okay, I will just counter the Reanimate. The flip side was let that resolve and kill Atraxa. Okay, I can no longer stop a Grizzlebrand. Oh yeah, okay. Good business. I think Apprentice is better because it's better with Welder. Apprentice is a self-contained answer to Grief. I can double block, and whichever thing they put in front, flip it into something else. Then I lose the other one, but at least I can flip into another Painter and keep the party going. This Atraxa in the graveyard does suck every possible ass, though. Probably should have just countered the Entomb, honestly. Cool, they've stopped attacking, and they didn't reanimate Atraxa. All good news for me. Imperial Recruiter. I can attack with Thopter, and then flip Thopter into Lotus Petal, and then cast Fable. I think I like that. Attack with Thopter. Flip Thopter into Lotus Petal. Deploy Fable. Okay. We've got a game. Another land drop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Dark Ritual now casts Grizzlebrand if they have Ritual. Just gonna hope they have nothing. I love those no attack turns. Another Fable. I think I am gonna loot my whole hand here. I want Grindstone or Graveyard Hate. Not more 3 drops. And I found Graveyard Hate. Good stuff. I'm gonna start by attacking with Goblin Shaman. Seeing what they do about that. But finding the Soul Guide Lantern, especially in concert with Double Welder, I think we're gonna get stable here. Unless they actually do cast Grizzlebrand. Okay, they traded the Grief. Now the coast is clear for a foot race. Soul Guide Lantern, eat Atraxa. Goblin Welder, get in. Okay, let's party. In the end step, I can activate Brea's Apprentice to get an extra card somewhere. I could also flip Treasure into Painter. I could flip Soul Guide Lantern into Painter. I think I want to sack my Treasure to flip a card. But this Soul Guide Lantern, I think I would rather have an extra Painter in play. Because with 2 Welders, I can put Soul Guide in at will, and it's better if I don't have to sack it. I can just get ETB triggers till I'm happy. Ooh, I've got Macabre. Okay. Sure. Lotus Petal and Painter Servant are gone. This doesn't happen at all now. Sacking this is not part of the effect. It is exchanged once it resolves. In that case, I'm gonna sacrifice my Treasure and flip a card for Brea's Apprentice. I can play it till the end of my next turn. Urza Saga, hell yeah. That's one I'm happy to play. On any turn. Uso Kenzan. Is that lethal right now? I think I'm a little bit short. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I don't have 4 mana, so yep. Question answered. They are dead on board next turn with a face-up Soul Guide Lantern. I can Soul Guide Lantern them 3 times this turn. What the hell is this? Oh, we're hard casting Snuff Out. Okay, well, there is a Lotus Petal in my graveyard. I'm gonna Soul Guide Lantern my opponent. Or I could draw a card. Yeah, I don't actually need to exile their graveyard here. I sack this to draw a card, and then I'm gonna flip Brea's Apprentice into Soul Guide Lantern. Their hand is Grizzlebrand and 1 unknown. Apprentice into Soul Guide. If their unknown is Fairy Macabre, I can just use the other Welder and flip it again. Exile Grief from your graveyard. Okay. Take 1. And the Dark Ritual for Hardcast Grizzlebrand is my biggest concern at this point. They did have all their Dark Rituals in their deck still. They have 6 mana producing lands, I guess. Do I even need to worry about this? Scrubland. Badlands, Badlands. I'm getting unmasked. They pitched the Grief. Their hand is Grizzlebrand and 1 unknown. In the end step, I'm going to flip Soul Guide Lantern back into Brea's Apprentice. I'm trying to get the game over right now. Another Saga, and opponent is dead. Was that the longest interactive game against Reanimator? Like, I didn't just shithouse them and it took me a while to win. We genuinely played back and forth for that whole game. That was pretty cool. They got Griefs and Voidwalkers. I do have my Pyroblasts in. I do have interactive creatures. Maybe Imperial Recruiter is worse than Fury. Fury is a great one if we get grindy like that again. I'm still worried about it getting Thoughtseized and reanimated. But I have a lot of graveyard hate. I can exile my own thing if I need to. Let's do it. Kept the 0 lander and won the game. Okay, I've got a Fairy Macabre. They are a deck with discard spells, but like, I'm not going to mulligan free interaction. They kept 7. Good, we're dead. For Reanimator 7 is never beatable. Okay, they did not play a card. Do I run out this Saga and get it ticking for hate? I think I do. I'm going to play Saga. And I'll run the Petal out as well. If I can just get Soul Guide Lantern in play and bridge the gap with Fairy Macabre, I want this in play as soon as possible. Faithless Looting, okay. They're not ready to disrupt a Macabre yet. Sarah's Emissary and Atraxa. Dark Ritual Exhume. Dark Ritual Exhume. Dark Ritual Exhume. Let's reanimate. Okay, I will get rid of both of these things. Macabre. Mox Opal, pretty cool. I think Fable is better than a Construct token here. And I am going to run out my Opal, because if they unmask me, I want it to just miss. Okay, flashback looting past the turn. That's what I'm looking for from my opponent right now. So let me get this Soul Guide Lantern into play before I'm dead. And then we can carry on from there. Archon of Cruelty in the bin, and we are getting to my turn. I am going to get to Fable, or get to Saga, whatever this thing is. Oh, that changed things. I can Fable first. I'm going to discard these 2 mountains. 2 painters. Oh, if I search for Grindstone, Opal will be on. I'll have 1, 2, 1, 2. I'm a mana short of... Oh, and Goblin can attack. So Tutor Grindstone, play Painter, name black, so I can't get snuffed. Okay, it's there. I'll take it. If they snuff my Goblin Shaman before combat, they could blow me out. Grab the Grindstone, play the Painter, black, Great Furnace, attack with Goblin. That's 3 mana. Grindstone U. Blammo. Did we do it? They're macabbing some random shit from my graveyard in response. And conceding the game. Cool. 3-0. Let the painter train roll. The Command Tower software by Eminence Gaming is perfect for hosting TCG events. It features easy to create event registration for 1v1 and 4-player Swiss structured tournaments. Event management has never been so simple, and it's web-based, so there's no download required. Get access for just $5 at eminence.event/subscribe. I'm on the draw in round 4. With our first appearance of Welder into Engineer, the old Entomb Reanimate start. This hand is hurting for a land. I do have the Spirit Guide and I do get 2 draw steps. I'm going to try it. Volcanic Island DRC, okay? I'm going to lead on a Welder because I now have 3 of them. It's a great target for Lightning Bolt, and missing on the land drop sucks extra hard now that I know this is Delver. Oh god. Invasion of Tarkir. First appearance of a battle on the channel. This one shocks when it comes into play, and if they flip it, it becomes a big scary dragon. Okay, that's dead. And they are putting effort on the dragon. Oh, this is a nightmare. I'm going to bolt this thing. I can pay for days with Spirit Guide. Missing this land drop has been horrendous. And I do have to pay for days here. Because if this dragon gets into bolt range, it's just too easy. Duck. Damage at any target. I can't beat that. Top bottom the scry. Ponder. Ponder did not shuffle. Come on, lands. Alright. I think I want to cast my 2-drop while I can. Or no, I'm going to get Welder in because that's the one that is more explosive once it's active. And they have the Wasteland, of course. I can flip Grindstone into Great Furnace if I need to. JK, no, I can't. Completely obliterated by Delver here. Okay, another Bolt. I'm sending it. Right now. Yeah. Staying alive. A land. And no play. Let's go. Hello. Are we having a good time yet, everybody? I'm going to Entomb a Painter if this resolves. Do I want Painter or do I want Dragon Engine? I'll take the Painter. I'll just put the scariest possible into the mix. Fetching in the end step. Are we just ramming Brazen Borrower in? Lightning Bolt, oh god. They double bolt this, and then they can attack and kill my Engineer. Damn it! I did not defend the battle. Yeah, whenever a dragon you control attacks, deal 2 to any target. And this is a 4/4. This thing is going to completely destroy me, and they top deck the Wasteland. Alright, I thought we were having fun here together, but if you're going to be like this opponent, I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, this card is literally unbeatable. Next game. That was a pretty good showcase of Battle or Invasion of Tarkir on this channel. Pretty good first appearance, I dare say. Unholy Heat, a Braid. Probably wanted Snaring Bridge. Don't know if we bring in Needle for Wasteland. They're going to have meltdowns. The blasts are actually good in the matchup. Maybe I'm foolish for just chopping Recruiter, but that does seem like the least focused card in the deck. It is literally just a card that its function is to become a different card. And I can make better mulligan decisions now that I know what the matchup is. I would not have kept a 1-lander against Delver. Do I need 2 Soul Guide Lanterns? Is that better than removal? I like the 1 because it can slow them down situationally. I don't know that I like having multiples. Ensnaring Bridge does demand a specific answer. They are going to have meltdowns in, but that's okay. I do want access to this card. I'm looking at Fable as just a pretty awkward card. Fury. Maybe it's a Fury. Like, I get that they're a creature deck, but also the deck I don't want to 2-for-1 myself, and I just boarded in 2 removal spells. Don't think this hand actually beats Delver, but it does fend off the attacks for a long time. I'm going to try it. I obviously need to draw something to actually do. It's pretty good at being alive turn 4. I'm not going to bolt into Daze here. I'll just go to my turn. Sick. Now I don't have to play Great Furnace into Meltdown or Wasteland. Not that I wanted more lands here, but if I'm going to draw a land, it should be that one. On Fable. Ancient Tomb. Okay. I can get that one wasted and not feel too bad about it. Opponent's land going me. In here. Throw this guy in there. I want Dragon Engine. Do I want Engine or Apprentice? Engine does stuff on its own. I don't know that I really want to just dump this whole hand. I'll get Apprentice. Didn't bolt in the end step. Could have the Dragon Battle. That one is a sorcery. Or a sorcery speed. It is literally a battle, not a sorcery. RC. Get a Surveil here. I am gonna let this happen and go to my turn. I want to be able to defend the Abrade with Pyroblast if necessary. Painter. That's a good card too. City of Traders. I'm going to play Painter. And I am going to paint things blue. I understand they're a deck with Force of Will in it. But being able to Pyroblast and counter Lightning Bolt could matter a lot here. Or counter Meltdown. Dragon's Rage Channeler is still not awake even with this Ponder in the mix. Saving a Braid until they get Delirium. If I can just block with Painter, I'm going to do that. Do not shuffle. And no attack. Get to live another day with my Abrade. I need some sort of powerful 3-drop here. Sokenzan is not it. I'm just going to pass. I guess I can Abrade in the next end step, and then Sokenzan my creatures out. Just fetch for a Volk in the end step. 5 cards in their hand. It's scary that they have 5 cards and haven't done anything. What are these cards? Lightning Bolt. It's weird that they had this the whole time and didn't push last turn. That would have given them Delirium even if I countered it. Okay. Painter's dead. I'm going to Abrade on their turn, but before they draw. Create a target creature. I can pay for any number of soft permission, and I can Pyroblast. Murktide it is. That resolves. I'm going to Sokenzan in the end step. Start just doing something proactive. Then I can Pyroblast on my turn as well. Goblin Engineer. I'm just going to test their hand, see what they're cooking with over there. This one will get Dragon Engine. Pyroblast. Are we in? Can we get it? Can we get it? Minor misstep. Tilt. Okay, so we're super friggin' dead. Gonna escape my dragon here. Or unearth, whatever this is. I'll draw my 3 cards, is what I'm saying. God, there's a pause. Do they have Graveyard Hate also? Am I getting macabre? Okay, not macabre. Yes, I'd like to draw 3 cards. Sick. Okay, well, this is not getting better. I can take another shot at this dragon, and I can pay for days. Please don't have another misstep. Yeah. Not too shabby. 6/6. My dragon goes away forever, unfortunately, but Brea's Apprentice is still in the graveyard, and Invasion of Tarkir is not flipping right now. They're firing a bolt at it in the end step. That's scary. The creature doesn't have haste, so if they follow up with a Chain Lightning here, I at least get a turn to try to make something different happen. But this is tough. PRC, not Delirious currently. Chain Lightning. Okay, this will put a battle in their graveyard at minimum. And I currently can't spend red and send this back. Oh god, they control Chain Lightning? That's so fucked. Alright, they control the battle. We are getting the full absolute kicking here. Yeah, it's their battle, so they spend red and can also kill Goblin Engineer. Wow. Okay. Yep. I heard that spoken about in spoiler season, and seeing it in action, I am not a fan. Okay, I can draw Grindstone and win here, so I'm not going to concede just yet, but I'm in trouble. I need to draw Grindstone, and they need to not interact with it. Another invasion. Oh no. Well, I'm buying these as soon as this match is over. Use my affiliate link for TCG Player. I always do. And they revealed Murktide Regent to do extra damage, and they're just going face here. Okay, so we've seen Invasion just on its face. We've also seen them Chain Lightning it and copy Chain Lightning for totally freezies. And we've also seen them reveal an actual dragon from their hand to it. All of which are terrifying things that are a great showcase on this channel of how this shit works. We do know their last card in hand is Murktide Regent, so if I draw the Grindstone, I win. Come on, 2 outer. Okay, Hellbound opponent. Grindstone off the top. Let's go. Let's go, Grindstone. Grindstone. Box Opal. Not it. Okay, GG. Yeah, that was awesome. It absolutely destroyed us, but that was a really cool showcase of everything that Invasion of Tarkir does in this deck. Gnarly stuff. On to the next round. Trophy is dead. Delver sucks. We're a few rounds into the video. Thanks for sticking with me. Friendly reminder that if you're still here and having fun, smash that subscribe button. And if you want to play what I'm playing, you can use my affiliate link for TCG Player to support the channel while you shop for cards, and you can try any deck anytime with a cardhoarder.com loan account for Magic Online. All these links are in the video description below. Now back to the league. I'm on the draw in the final round against Ben Illig, who I've never run into on Magic Online before, but is a person I know in real life. He's one of the tournament organizers to the annual draft invitational I play in. We draft 6 formats over 2 days for a traveling trophy. Also a supporter of this channel, of course. I'm going to keep my hand. It's pretty good. I don't know what he actually plays in Legacy, so we're going to find this one out together. Okay, on 4. That's a bad sign. Entomb Reanimate. Oh my god. An island on 4 cards versus my Red Blast hand. Send it. I think I'm just going to paint her and paint it blue. It's going to get aggro here. So if I paint it blue, I mean, if he's already a blue deck, that could turn on Force of Will. Maybe I do just paint it black. Alright, I've painted it black. So if I had painted it blue, I could have destroyed the island and maybe just make this a non-game. I'm feeling like this is show and tell. Like, who goes to 4 and then plays a basic island? I'm not ready to Red Blast that. Painter players in the comments, let me know. Do you get this aggro? Like, if it costs you a Spirit Guide, do you fire this off? Did not miss a land drop. Has a Wasteland. Sure. Now I regret not naming blue and just killing this island. Oh, I regret nothing. I'm going to play Soul Guide Lantern, get this Brainstorm out of the graveyard, and work my way up to this Grindstone. I could have played Grindstone here, which, if I draw a land plus Spirit Guide, is GG. Opponent was Brainstorm blocked. Prioritized the Wasteland over the shuffle last turn, so must like the last card here. Waste not. Oh, come on, man. What are we doing right now? This got weird and I don't like it. Okay, let's see if we can waste our way past this Waste Not and kill with the onboard Grindstone. If I had played Grindstone last turn, I would have won right now. But it's hard to rewrite history in that way. You never know. 3 cards. A mana source here lets me protect Painter with Red Blast. Attack you. Okay, we're doing something here. I was trying to bait something out. Just like play a card. Position Agent. Okay. That'll do. Zap you in response. Okay, cool. Okay. Like I said, I don't know Ben to play a lot of Legacy, and we are not playing a normal meta deck here. I am pleasantly surprised. Opposition Agent Waste Not, though, are cards that I've seen. Don't know that I'm going to need Soul Guide Lanterns here. I will keep my full vote of Pyroblast. Is the island just for brainstorms? Because we saw cards that incentivize heavy black, and then we saw basic island to cast them. It's weird. Def saw lots of basic lands. Not going to reach for Magus here. Snaring Bridge could hold the fort. Oh, Imperial Recruiter versus the Oppo deck, but I'm an Oppo deck with Fury, Unholy Heat, Abrade, etc. Maybe I want Needle for Wasteland. I can shave Imperial Recruiter. Deciding if I want Ensnaring Bridge. Like, do I think this is some tempo deck that can't actually answer a resolved bridge? It's possible. I'm going to bring that in over one of the blasts. Okay, I've got a Accelerated Saga and the Painter. The Saga can find Grindstone. I can answer an Oppo, but not at instant speed. I'm still keeping this hand. He just asked where all my blue cards are. I paint them blue sometimes. Goes to shuffle. Get backup Saga in case Wasteland happens to me. Wasteland happens to me. I'll float my colorless because I'm playing tight. Floating colorless there will never do anything. Your opponent literally just passes the phase and we're doing the next thing. You got another one? I can do this all day. Brainstorm, okay. And we've got a fetch land. Swamp. Uh-oh. Thoughtseize is really good here. No! My Painter. Alright, Saga, I need you to carry this game. Painter is gone. That's good. That means I don't have to think about what color I would have painted things. I think I'm just going to go for the Ancient Tomb and let Saga reach its conclusion, rather than try to engineer right now. If they ambush my Saga with Oppo, then I'll be able to Fury the Oppo before I engineer. They're all good things. Him to Turok. Say goodbye, hand. 2 mountains gone. Love to see it. I didn't need those anyway. And that means I'm not getting Oppo'd, and I'm going to have some hefty creatures in play in the near future. Take another one of these. Tutor up. Do I want Grindstone in play? I think I do. Grindstone in play, plus play Soken's on, and Goblin Engineer. There's a Painter in the graveyard. We've got a Force Pitching Hull Breacher. Okay, so we are some sort of Dimir Rogues deck, and there are more blue cards than we saw in game 1. I have a second Engineer ready to rip. If I get him to Turok again, I'll just attack for 6 and party. Now they're holding up the super obvious Oppo or Hull Breacher. There's a bunch of 3-power creatures they can drop in here, but I, of course, drew the best card I could. Just a clean answer to those things. There it is. I'm going to zap that before blocks. I would like to just win with tokens now. The opponent's at 7. I have 6 power in play. An artifact presents lethal. A fetch land presents lethal. If they force of will another thing, lethal. Got a Fade Dress down. They found a natural land drop. 2 cards left in hand. No cards left in hand for me. Opponent's got 1 left over there. Oh, that's a good Fatal Push. Okay. They know their next 2 cards because of the Brainstorm. Oh my god. I will continue drawing busted value engines until they run out of gas. I am very pleased with Fable of the Mirror Breaker this turn. Roll your eyes, opponent, at the power of my top decks. Roll your eyes and die. F6, baby. This is a lethal attack because the Goblin makes an artifact. Oh my god, I even drew a removal spell if they were floating a creature. Messed up. Okay, take 5. No! Alright, can't counter that one. Take 2. This is the other card from Brainstorm. And I'm not gonna slow grind. Just don't think that matters. Just targeting myself, I could have hit Dragon Engine. But also, no thanks. Okay, a Braid in my hand, 2 lethal threats in play. A card in hand clearly is not helpful, or it would have been cast. We got the GGs. A 4-1 record to balance out my 1-4 last time I played this deck, losing only to Invasion of Tarkir Delver. Invasion of Tarkir, very specifically a card that obliterates exactly this matchup. When your creatures cast shock every time they attack, the little goblin X1, X2 team deck is not going to get over the hump. Glad we could have a rebound for the channel, though. This deck is great. We saw a lot of cool play patterns here. Urza Saga rules. We had lots of fables show up this game. We did the Dragon Engine thing a couple times. We had Fury win some games against Elves. Main deck Soul Guide Lantern came up. We had some quick combos with Painter Grindstone, and I mean, that's the deck. There are some flex slots. Like this Imperial Recruiter didn't make a lot of sense to me, and I boarded it out every round. You could probably just find a higher impact main deck slot for that. The sideboard felt pretty good. I was happy with all the cards that I had. And I think I boarded in all of them except for Meltdown. I guess Meltdown's kind of crazy. Like, when are we casting that in this deck? Against 8 cast? Is that like the one place where it's worse for them than it is for us? I don't know. Meltdown's pretty aggro. But the rest of the cards made sense. I boarded them all in except for the Meltdown, and the main deck all made sense. It's a tight package. Can't wait till we get Chaos Defiler. Really looking forward to playing with that one. But for now, Rob Job. This was Mono Red Painter, as exists on Magic Online for you. Hope it was informative. We will talk about it soon. Everyone else, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out the Patreon, and I will see you next time.